Welcome back to game number 3 and our final game of the night of King of the Hill.
Yeah, so far there's been very exciting games. Close gold leads, back and forths. Be interesting to see if Second Chance will be able to take over the hill and hold on to it until the next set of games.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job. Even with the slower starts to the games, they've been doing a fantastic job of just
Your commands tire me.
moving pretty well as a team and just finding the fights that they wanted and closing out the games in nice fashion. So Bronze Border Patrol does still hold the hill, and they are facing Second Chance.
Yeah.
I recommend skipping.
Taking out the classic Udyr from Fatley and the Lulu from Gregosaurus, which definitely won them the game last game.
I do not tolerate cowardice.
You never really think about how long that polymorph lasts.
Until you're playing against it, and then you're just sad the whole time.
Yeah, until you decide to all in just on mistakes. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see what they end up on. Ooh, Scion Bam.
I do see my former co-casters were paying attention to that last game and took all 3 bans from what was played last game.
Yeah. Yeah, well, at least there's that. Personally, I don't think many of those were, I don't think the Vigar and Scion were that big of a deal, but hey,
Yeah.
if you don't know what your enemy's playing, you might as well get rid of it.
Right.
You do
The
know
Vigar Scion weren't necessarily super impactful, but definitely worth banning regardless. Vigar just allowing such an easy way to corral your enemies with his Event Horizon.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Xayah picked up here for Evil Envy.
Yeah, safe 80 carry, and one of the more hyper carries, I'm say.
Very safe, very potent too. She does have a lot of damage as the game scales on, but she also does have a considerable amount of early game damage. One of the higher early game damage champions, in my opinion.
Definitely. Steals away the Warwick from Trufflesaurus, but he goes back to the Zac. Not too bad. Yeah, it's one of his main LCUS junglers, assuming that they're maintaining the same roles and not doing a crazy swap.
It looks like they are maintaining the same roles, because they... Gregosaurus does still have his exhaust.
Yeah.
Looks like the Braum picked up for him. Didn't like playing against it. Braum is actually very good into Xayah as well, because his Unbreakable, the shield does block all the feathers in front of him.
Oh, Rakan.
We do have the Xayah Rakan bot lane picked up. Also very, very potent, because the Deadly Plumage from Xayah, when paired with a Rakan,
Let me get in there.
Rakan also gets the attack speed benefits and fires the extra projectile every time he attacks. In addition to his abilities are also amplified when playing with Xayah.
Chaos will
Dash
follow.
is super far ranged.
My only real complaint here is they better be using the same skins, otherwise they are not a true Xayah Rakan lane.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm on to you.
Doesn't seem like they're concerned about the Caitlyn that he pulled out the first game. I think that was him.
Yeah,
I will wait.
Andy AoE did play the Caitlyn in the first game and did very well on it. with a nice 60,000 damage even to champions.
Oh yes, that's right.
The next highest was somewhere in the 40s, I believe. So Ace, you had a nice fancy showing of your Vayne skills in that last game. Little sluggish start because of the awkward level 1. Both teams decided to invade each other, and then your team kind of drew the short straw there. But mid game you looked like you had popped off a little bit, picking up a nice triple kill in a fight that looked like you guys should have just lost the fight 0 for 3. So
Yeah, enjoy playing the champion. You can't ban me out in every single role. I have to have a champion somewhere. But
does that mean you're going to start playing Vayne in the mid lane for the LCUS?
I would play Vayne top if I played top lane, but no, I probably will not pull it out mid lane. Doesn't have enough lane room to actually punish anything.
Fun fact about Vayne top. Vayne top has been picked enough that Riot has recognized it as a top laner, and if you look at the top lane champions tab, she does show up on that.
I did not know that. I just started playing her like a few seasons ago. I guess 4 seasons ago now. I would play Vayne and Draven top lane back when AD carries were actually good.
The glory days.
The glory days. So looking back, doesn't look like there are going to be any change-ups from Bronze Border Patrol's team assignments. On second chance, though, they have Portsummer, who plays AD carry in the LCUS as the support, with 2 unknowns in the solo lanes.
Yeah, let's see. Interesting to see how this is going to work out because, as you said, Portswimmer is an AD carry in the LCUS, so he does have that mentality of how an AD carry is going to want to play, and I don't see it as being too difficult an adjustment. Evil Envy showed up as a sub for White Wolf Gaming in week 2 of the LCUS and performed pretty well.
Yeah, he currently is an AD carry main, so I don't really blame him for using those roles. I think that Portsummer, if I check right now, I believe that he is mainly maining support in the solo queue as well. So these roles might actually make sense. Yes, 40 games of Taric. I assume the Rakan is just for fun, being able to pull it out with Isaiah.
40 games with Taric, but doesn't pick Taric. Where are you going? Where are you making these life decisions, man? You gotta bust out the Taric every chance you get.
Yep. You
This
have to live up
is
to all these
outrageous.
Badgerless moments. Truly, truly outrageous.
Absolutely. But I will excuse it because it is the Xayah Rakan. But I can still go back on that if their skins don't match. Those are my terms. Meet them or beat it.
4 minutes in the 2 minutes ago, they sealed their fate. Will the skins match or will they not match? I'm going for not match. Unless, I guess, they both could just not have a skin at all.
Looking at the teams, Gotta Get Lucky does have his signature Kennen that he's busting out. Andy AoE, also a renowned Ezreal. Ezreal still pretty priority in the LCS right now, but I personally don't like how he fits into a team.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem with him. The last 2 games, they really relied on him to output the damage and carry the fights course, on Ezreal, you can stay alive a lot longer, and you have a little bit of burst on your Qs, but it's not the same thing as having a Tristana or a Caitlyn. They're just walloping the other team. So I don't know if their team will be able to repeat the same performance without him on a hyper carry. 2 minutes later.
It's going to be interesting to see because you do still have that Kennen now in the top lane, so you don't have the 2-tank lineup, but you have Braum in the support role, so you are relieving that pressure down there. But most of the team fight damage is going to be coming from the Kennen and the Xerath now, as opposed to relying on that pretty reliable 80 carry, actually.
Yeah, that's definitely true. The Kennen can provide a lot of damage as well.
They aren't matching skins, so I do take back all the nice things I said about them, and they are an utter trash, uncoordinated bot lane, and I am very disappointed.
Yeah, at least they're facing the right directions, but they're not even next to each other.
It's like one of those group hug scenarios.
Yeah.
Just got to get everyone involved.
Yeah, they're just huddling up, ready for...
Meanwhile, everyone on the Bronze Border Patrol is just looking off angrily to the left. Stage right.
Yep. Stage right. Yes.
Nailed it. I could be a director.
You should be a director.
I should not be a director.
Alright.
Waiting for everyone to spawn in here.
Awkward black screen of death. Oh, and there we go.
No death allowed.
Seconds on the clock. And ports over.
And he rage quit because their skins didn't match.
Yeah, you know, they were.
I would do the same.
Talking about it, and then it just didn't happen.
I would do the same.
I don't have any text messages saying game's over, restart, remake. So there's that. Oh, he's back.
He's back! Yay!
Yay!
The game is saved!
With the magic of the internet.
Now we just have to wait for the unpause.
Do they know how to say unpause?
Oh, I'm sure they do. Does /resume work as well?
Oh, it does?
I don't know. I was asking.
I only paused once, and it was last week when I had to find someone to come in and cast.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, that was you. Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I got in and I was like, oh, it's paused. 30 seconds after joining. Well, I guess this is a good time to join.
yeah, right. Yeah. It was like, well, I could have just tried to lane while that was going on, and I decided that wouldn't be a good thing. Double invade. Does the Galio have his E? No, he has his taunt. Interesting. Oh boy.
They do get a nasty pick onto
Will
the
team
Xerath
fight
here.
continue? Kennen, low health, does not flash away.
2 kills
Zach
in
jumps
favor
away.
of second chance. Off to a kicking start.
Feels
Gonna
like they don't even need a second chance.
fix the scoreboard here before everyone gets
Before
all mad at
Prowler
me.
comes and rages at us.
Before everybody gets all mad at me. For some reason, second chance was already in the right order, but I know they were not in champ select. So thanks, Riot, doing
Quite
something
strange.
right. Doing something right. You may not show us all the correct summoner spell cooldowns, but you know what? Sometimes you're all right.
Yeah, sometimes you do one thing okay.
Yeah, like release champions that aren't super busted on launch.
Yeah, I don't know about that yet, but
Hey now, she didn't destroy her first game, so. And we've only seen her once, so clearly people aren't super excited to pick her up yet.
yeah, I should have pulled it out.
She released today. Come on, you gotta be on the hype train.
Galio. Galio had some small nerfs to him. Mana cost and some cooldown on his Q. How do you think that's going to affect the matchup versus the Xerath?
I feel like he's still going to be able to do alright. He's just not going to be able to poke quite as frequently. But he still does have those just base resistances, so he should be able to hold out just fine. Maybe take a little bit more damage, just because Xerath does have that passive mana regen. Looks like an invade here from Fat Lee. Gets spotted out and collapsed on.
Doesn't get pulled back by the Zac.
Lot
The
of
Jax
flashes.
jumps in. Kennen flashes away after saving it, but the Galio flashes in on the Xerath, who still has flash as well. Flashes away. No one has TP up, or will use TP to save Trufflesaurus.
Very good focus onto Trufflesaurus there, killing the blobs, securing at least one kill.
Yeah.
And I do agree with Gotta Get Lucky's decision to hold the TP. I feel like Trufflesaurus was dead regardless, being he didn't have flash, and if Gotta Get Lucky was going to sit there and TP, he might have just ended up dying on his own.
Yeah, as soon as he channels his TP, the Jax would just jump on him instead.
The Xerath does get chased down, and on their way out, they do take the blue buff. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we've got some trading going back and forth. Not a whole lot, though. Kleptomancy on this Ezreal, stealing all the goodies.
Yeah. At this rate, the Ezreal really needs to steal some kills for his team. See what I did there?
Yeah. I saw.
No.
I saw.
No. So looks like with those kills, it's about a 2k gold lead.
In favor of second chance here.
Second chance, yeah. With
The
most
real
of that
carry
gold.
is going to be this Rakan, up 400 gold over the Braum, though.
Yeah, most of that gold's on the Warwick and Rakan.
About an 800 gold lead in the jungle. He's going to get his... He's got his Tiamat already, but he's going to get his Cinder Hulk or his Titanic Hydra very fast.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of... Oh, Lord, help this Zac. I've been seeing a lot of Warwicks not even finish their jungle item. If they just finish the smite part of it and leave the Devour or Cinder Hulk part alone.
Yeah, definitely a good choice to try to get some snowball-y items earlier than just finishing the Cinder Hulk right away. Allowing you to, especially with the gold lead that he does have, allow you to get in there and start affecting the game a little bit sooner and harder than you would otherwise be able to with just a Cinder Hulk. One swipe takes away most of the chickens. Goes back for another swipe to finish off the last one.
Is that where KFC's chicken shortage came from? From the
Oh,
Warwick?
it might be. He did have red buff.
Yeah. As long as the gravy isn't actually Zac, I think we're in an okay plot.
He might not have had red buff. I was kind of just going out there with that claim.
Yeah,
Look,
I
I mean,
really
it doesn't
think
have it.
this Zac needs to get a little bit more involved. I know that he feels like he's super far behind, but the Warwick can clear just as fast as him, and he should really just be trying to camp any lane. But
Yeah, Warwick's not a champion you want to try to outpower farm.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna be. You're not gonna be healthier than him by the end of your clear, and you're not gonna be faster than him at clearing. The biggest thing you can do is try to get some assists, try to get some money to allow you, or at least your team, to get ahead, and yourself caught back up, so you can continue to make those plays for your team. A lot of damage coming onto this Kennen, though.
Yeah, that's one of those situations. You saw the Zac in the top lane. Kennen just hit 6. They could have went for it after Jax jumped in with his Counter-Strike up, but that didn't happen. However, the Zac before going back was actually leading the Warwick in experience. So now no complaints there. Both taking their red buffs, and the pings seem to be coming out that they're looking for a top lane gank from the second chance.
Galio now does have his ult, so him leaving lane for more than 10 seconds could be very dangerous if it's not pinged out.
Now Kennen needs to be very concerned about staying in lane. Even without the Warwick coming, I'm pretty sure the next time Jax jumps on him, he will just almost one-shot him. Even before the stun happens. Warwick sneaking around the back bush right now. Gonna head in with his ult, and that should be all she wrote. Yep, flash in by the Warwick.
Kill secured by that washed up top laner up there. Currently leading lane 103. Not as washed up as you might think.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, just random fight happening. Does Xerath get the solo kill on the Warwick?
Looks like he might get saved
Nope.
by the Warwick, or by the Galio.
Oh, the Zac comes
Flash
in,
to
misses
get out.
his Q. Xerath going for this Jax, picks him off. Galio running away. Don't think anyone will catch him.
Ult from the Kennen does manage to secure some more
Did
damage.
get caught. Has the flash. Jumps away. Zac should have his E back up soon.
Looks like they're going to continue to go for it, but a good flash gets the Galio out of there. Perfection indeed.
Yeah. Always the question of, do you jump in with your ult ready to go afterwards, or do you wait to see if you can burn the flash already? Not that he needs his ult cooldown that badly, but
Still a very passive bot lane as far as kills go. Some engagements going on right now against the Braum, taking some heavy damage. Not a lot of amounts out of that though.
getting
Braum
out.
spotted
Warwick's collapsing on the
warding.
Braum. Andy does not walk over. Let him jump. Oh, the fight's happening.
Charm and Fear
Makes it away.
land.
Ezreal still has heal up.
Stun lands onto the Rakan, but a nice heal saves him.
Ooh, still no heal by the Ezreal.
Ult and Blade Caller does secure the kill onto the Braum. Xerath is here, but Second Chance is looking to potentially pressure for the dive.
Probably could have gotten the
Port Swimmer really low on this Rakan. Fatley does manage to pick up the kill, but gets traded out for it. Just outside the hitbox for Evil Envy. Barely making it out of there. Ult coming in, might get a double kill. Might get killed.
or absolutely nothing. Zac
is
jumps
here,
before he
so
gets
Second Chance
spotted.
needs to leave. Galio did arrive.
Attack the Xerath. Xayah, excuse me. And meanwhile, in the top
Attack the
lane,
Xerath, attack the Xayah, just pick an X champion and attack it.
yeah, right. Attack your team. Who cares?
Solo kill in the top lane for the Jax,
Yes.
by the way.
The Kennen missed a skill shot, and then tried to ult, and just got stunned by the Jax's counter strike. Now you really get to see what Jax excels at. Just whapping towers.
Whap, 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 whap.
The sound that haunts everyone's non-split pushing dreams. At the time, actually, the Kennen had double buffs, which he handed over to the Jax following that unfortunate 1v1. But they did shut down the Warwick twice now. It'll be interesting to see if the Xerath can make those roams happen more often. Ooh, the
Port
Braum.
Swimmer goes to clear a control ward, but almost got out way too far out of position.
Ends up starting the dragon, which the Bronze Border Patrol just decides to, well, they'll just take it. Assuming that they can
Warwick
put it down
is
low
coming
enough.
in. Don't know if he's going to get there in time. Does manage to steal it with the Galio ult following.
Kennen does not have TP to save the Zac. They can win this fight though. Oh, before that blade crawler came out.
Zac does manage to blob his way back together and get out.
Bad timing. Kills the Galio. Loses the dragon though.
Directed camera decided top lane was more exciting halfway through that fight, so I had to rush my way back down there.
Yeah, same.
Thanks, Riot. You know
Yeah.
exactly what's going on.
It's like, come on, Riot. You literally have 3 minutes in the future. You know nothing happened top lane. Whatever. Zaya's bot still, no ult up. Well, shouldn't have an ult up, but apparently they do. Thanks,
Hey man.
Riot.
Hey man, sometimes things are hard.
Rep.
Ult coming up from the Kennen, just trying to be defensive and maybe escape, but Counter-Strike stuns again and going to confirm the kill.
First item, Hourglass, is really what needs to be happening. But at that point,
He has the stopwatch that he could have used.
yeah.
Probably still would have died regardless, though. Fancy engage attempted by Port Swimmer. Almost dies to the tower, but Warwick's here
Dog
now.
down there, too.
Flashes to try to fear the Braum back towards the carries.
He's running towards Andy, just like, let me jump to you. Please let me jump to you. It's the Kennen's bot, no ult. Takes down the Warwick. In the top lane, they take down the Jax. And Kennen is still fighting in the bot lane. 1v3. Almost takes down Warwick.
So, map wide, 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2 for 2. And when you're behind, every little bit it counts. But
Yeah, 3.5 gold lead here for second chance. Really doing a good job of kind of riding this Warwick pressure into the mid game. He's got his Titanic Hydra now completed, where the Zac just has his Cinder Hulk.
yeah, and as you can see, no jungle item. He didn't end up getting anything, and I doubt he will, despite how good those items can be. There is that slight nerf to Cinder Hulk, only giving 50 hit points right now instead of the 80 that it most likely would be giving otherwise.
Yeah, Cinder Hulk with the AoE burn is still very valuable for the jungle clearing, but the Tiamat definitely outclasses the little Bomby Cinder Hulk burn. So very strong choice to go with the Titanic Hydra instead.
Yeah, it makes you think, is it worth just getting the Bambi Cinder first and keeping the Cinder Hulk upgrade, the 500 gold, until later when you could possibly use the... Oh, look at that nice turnaround by the Kennen bot lane. Almost should have honestly not wasted the stopwatch that time. But yeah, that was a good turnaround. Keeps chasing the Xayah, which is now probably a bad idea.
Has the Zac and the Braum and the Xerath all down there to help out, leaving poor Andy all alone in the mid lane with the Jax. Warwick gets the fear, and then just
Nice.
knock up misses from Truffle, but it's not going to matter because the ult's not going to keep him healthy enough.
Yeah, first item Redemption coming in from the Rakan is an interesting choice. I personally prefer to see a little bit more tank coming out of those divers, but
It allows the cross-map healing and the empowered shielding and healing from his kit, so it is a pretty good purchase. Maybe not necessarily priority, but still definitely a good buy regardless.
That is true. Plus, it's much like Karthus' ult, or passive, excuse me. You're able to just die and still be useful, which is always a good thing.
Unless it's on cooldown. Then you just died and you're
Then you
inting.
just die. Yeah.
Just missing the taunt there on the Galio.
It'd be interesting to see if they have enough. With Galio's going full AP, it appears. But it'd be interesting to see if they had enough damage to really get through a Galio.
Second chance here, sneaking the Rift Herald.
And sneaking the Braum, apparently.
Gonna take that, and they might just drop it mid. Looks like they're rotating to pick up this Mountain Drake that just spawned. Another very useful dragon for this team.
Andy AoE is making his way over. Kennen has a Jax and Xayah near him, while the rest of the team just clears the wards. Looks like Bronze Border Patrol is going to be pushing out the mid lane, trying to have no threat of the tower take afterwards. But very stalemate game.
Spire's Bloom there. Ooh, a huge stun onto the Xayah.
Zach takes 3 of them in place, probably does not want to pull them next to the team, and the Kennen takes out
Huge
everyone.
ult from the Kennen.
Wow.
And
That's
that
a way
is
to come back in
that
the
is
game.
the dream fight. The Xayah got sniped through the fight by the Xerath Q. Definitely not something you're watching for that far back.
Absolutely.
So a 4-for-0 fight for the Bronze Border Patrol, plus the Mountain Drake in their favor, and it looks like they're gonna get
The mid tower too. Yeah. Looks
the
like
tower to
Zach
even up
wants to get
and
another
actually
tower.
take the gold lead
Take the gold lead, yeah.
ever so slightly.
If you think back to the start of the game, we had a 4-0 Warwick, and now he's 5-5. Really pushed his aggression a little bit too far, it seems.
Yeah, and it looks like he might just be going for Dead Man's Plate for his next item, so opting out of that Cinder
Hey.
Hulk purchase.
Hey, he's going for Adamos Impaler. Come on. Oh wait, that's not an item anymore.
That would be Chain Vest Cloak.
Yeah, that used to build into Adamos Impaler.
Yeah, but he's got Chain Vest Ruby Crystal.
What else built? Was it? Oh yeah.
Chain Vest Cloak. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
And Chain
oh.
Vest
Oh
didn't...
my god! 30 hit points on the Xayah after the heal. Woo!
barely survived. We can
Yeah,
hear
and-
them typing in chat, but we have chat disabled because, well, sometimes some
nobody needs to
unsavory
see that.
things are being said.
If you look at the Xerath, his ultimate's still off cooldown. Thanks,
Yeah.
Riot.
Yeah. It's that Kaisa release really messed with all their spectator mode settings.
Honestly, I feel as though it's the fact that the scoreboard adjusts now, or the sides adjust. I think that's
It did that on the last patch too.
really?
Yeah.
Zach jumps in, takes the Rift Herald to the tower.
Come here, Shelly. You're gonna charge this.
Uh,
Meanwhile, a lot of
Double
split
flashes.
fighting. Shelly not taken down yet. Will die to the tower.
Andy AoE doing some damage.
Warwick just trying to see if he
Charmed
can.
up by the Rakan. Rakan's down. No other follow-up.
Warwick just kind of trying to see if he can get hit by the Ezreal
Xayah
ultimate
takes
twice.
down Xerath from the backside.
The missing ping on the map from the blue team. Almost as if they knew I wasn't watching that.
Oh man, Galio ult. As Deadpool would say, hero's entrance. Oh, takes him down.
Jax goes down
Will
to
he get the triple
Ezreal.
kill? Looks like he'll get the double.
Huge damage coming out of this Ezreal.
Wow,
Trinity Force
Penta.
really putting in its work.
what a scrub.
Not quite a penta this time. He needs 2 more kills to be good enough for another penta. He's trying to contest the legendary Menard's double pentas.
Yeah, don't think it'll happen, but we'll see. Now with the gold lead, 6 kills up, 1 tower up, a little bit less useful of a dragon, but most of the whole gold lead is on Andy AoE and Tilted Snorlax. Everyone else on their team is down compared to Second Chance. I think Second Chance's best option right now is to start split pushing.
The really nice thing about Zac is you don't necessarily, well, about tanks in general, is you're kind of expected to have that gold deficit. You don't need as much money to be super impactful. You just need to layer your CC with the rest of your team, and you can just allow for your team to basically do all the damage for you because you're the tank, and just set up some sick plays. Meanwhile, we've got Engage in the top lane. Nice stun disengages that right away.
4v5 top right now.
Jack split pushing, getting collapsed on by the Kennen and the Ezreal.
It's a flash out of the Kennen.
A flash to follow, and he does go down.
They just go start the bear.
Meanwhile, yeah, they Second Chance just decides to start the Baron off of it. They get called off of it though. TP coming in from Gotta Get Lucky. He does not have an ultimate, but he is in the backline and is going to cause some serious trouble.
They need to continue this fight, but Andy AoE shows up.
Braum goes down.
They need to continue this fight. This might be their only chance to.
The Zac
does
not die.
And that will probably be the beginning of the end for Second Chance.
Is Zac running Triumph? Because there is no other way he healed for that much.
That is a good question.
Because he went from about 10 HP to about 800 HP.
Yeah, without
600
a heal or
HP.
anything. Yikes.
Yikes is right. Such a close fight from both teams, but Bronze Border Patrol just able to maneuver their way through the fight just a little bit better.
Yeah, that's probably coming in from. Oh, and he is running Triumph. Yes, indeed. That's probably coming in from the 3 games of synergy that they've had together. Red team, Second Chance, easily could have taken that game, but not that game, that fight. But they just weren't around. They weren't thinking about it. They split off when they could have went in and finished off the Zac, and with that peel.
So the kill count in this game at one point was 9 to 11. It is now 23 to 13.
Yeah. Sometimes over-aggression just really, really screws you. But here we are.
This Xayah is currently 3,500 gold down. A full item down on this Ezreal.
Yeah.
And that is not where you want to be compared to this Ezreal. Granted, he does have the Klepto procs allowing him to gather gold much faster.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issues coming in from, even if you are an item down, you don't want one of those items that you have to be an Essence Reaper, because that means you still are waiting for Infinity Edge, and are kind of just at the same point as an Ezreal.
See, the problem there is that the Essence Reaver is very crucial for Xayah, allowing her to continue to spam her abilities because of the potential 30% CDR from that item combined with the Zeal item, as well as the ability to regenerate mana on crits, allowing her to stay out on the map longer and just keep cycling through her abilities in fights. But
No, absolutely. It's
definitely
just,
missing that Infinity Edge, though, is hurting her damage just so much because she just doesn't quite have enough damage to tear through these tanks just yet.
Yeah. Gonna get a second. Gonna get a first Infernal Dragon, actually. And yeah, Baron should pretty much be Baron's gonna run out before they're able to use it on any other objectives, but they're definitely getting the mid inhib off of it, and your dragon is totally worth. Especially with how free the Baron ended up being. Just resetting the map, taking the buffs. They probably won't split push since their teleport's down. Looks like they're just gonna all group top and just take those 2 towers. What do you think the red team, second chance, has got to do to even survive this push?
Basically, at this point, they just need to find the Miracle engage. They need to find the Miracle team fight. They need to get a really nice pick, which they're setting up for a pick on the Xerath right now. They take down the Kennen.
No ult in from the Warwick. I guess it's hard to say if it's on cooldown or not. It is on cooldown. So it's a 4v5 now. Got a free tower. But will they be able to do anything else off of that? I don't think so. They just buy a little bit more time for their team. Of course, no complaints. But getting that Thornmail from the Zac to take care of the Warwick, the Jax, and the Xayah.
Yeah.
One of those very fun items to play against. And it looks like Evil Envy on the Xayah is going towards the Quicksilver Sash instead of another damage item.
Definitely a good choice with the Braum and the Kennen. They're able to apply those stuns, as well as even the Xerath.
Yeah. You know, it's just a question of, is it worth staying alive if you're not doing maximum damage? It's always hard to tell. You know, obviously
You can't do damage if you're dead.
I know, but if you're just gonna die after you quick Silver Sash anyways, because you weren't able to kill the carries.
So he's got the Null Magic Mantle, but he also picked up a BF Sword. So that says to me that he's still gonna get the Infinity Edge first. He just wanted a little bit more magic resist to try to help with the Xerath and the Kennen.
Does the BF Sword still build into the Scimitar?
It does not. It does not.
Is that just pickaxe now?
No, it's Vamp Scepter, Longsword, QSS. It's the same build path as Bloodthirster, just switching out the QSS for the BF Sword.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, we have a...
it does have a pickaxe. Huge fight. They took out Andy AoE, but their base is getting destroyed still. They send the Galio back for the TP and
Send
they
the
also
Galio
missed their
back.
second TP.
They went 3 for 0 in that fight, so splitting up to deal with the pushes is definitely a good option.
Yeah, interesting play though. Might have been able to just push, just like give up a tower and maybe get an inhib of their own. By the time they get this even to the second tower in the top lane, 2 people on Border Patrol will be
be up to come answer them.
Yeah, and they just need to rush that tower and just get out. Because if any of them die, they basically give up the next Baron, which is spawning in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We have another Infernal Dragon spawning in a minute and a half.
Is this? It is. Inhib up in the mid lane for second chance, so they may actually be able to contest the Baron rather than just having to protect their base. And they have Scuttle Crab as well, so they'll know if anyone tries to pull a cheeky sneak. Yeah. Minute left. You can tell the washed up the top laner is coming to try to just contest the Kennen, since Kennen will not be able to 1v1 him at all.
Walked over the
and
ward
neither
on his
have
way
TP.
down, so he just clears that out on his way out.
It's just setting up again. 30 seconds on the dragon.
Excellent
Jax
vision
is-
control here from the Bronze Border Patrol.
Yeah.
Just trying to
Oh,
starve out as much
Washed
vision
up
as
top
they
laner
can.
gets caught.
QSS's.
Stuns the Xerath. Will he be able to take him out?
Zonius comes through, but the Xerath does still fall. Warwick chasing down the Ezreal, but just a little too slippery. Gets stunned up by the Braum and the cannon.
Yeah, the QSS from the Ezreal saved the game, honestly, for the Bronze Border Patrol. Warwick was going to be able to kill him off. But I think they still might be able to get this dragon, even though the jungler's alive. Will he jump in? Nope. Dragon is dead. Giving up a second Infernal. That's not what you want to do when you have only a 300 gold lead like you have right now. Kennen gets the stun off. Xayah does dealing damage to the front line. Flash out by the Zac. Braum's in the front. It's taken out by the Jax.
Double stun from the Jax.
And Zac overcommits. Jumps in to try to peel for Ezreal, but instead just gets killed.
Now it looks
Yikes.
like the call has been made for the Baron.
Yeah, it's a 5v3. It's a 5v2. Of course, the poke is still there, but there's no more ult from the Xerath either.
Tower goes
Ezreal
down
seems
in the
to
top
just
lane
give it
for
up.
Bronze Border Control. Bronze Border Patrol. Andy trying to channel his inner Apollo.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Xayah just gets ditched at the pit because Rakan decided to recall solo.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of surprised that I don't see a banner of command from either team yet.
It wouldn't work very well versus, besides with Baron, of course, versus Second Chance. But it would be highly effective versus
Bronze Border Patrol,
Bronze
for
Border
sure.
Patrol, for sure. Yeah, if they just tossed it in whatever lane Kennen was going to. Yeah, that would be nasty. Or if they just grouped with it, it'd be very hard for Ezreal to take it down by himself. But no, it looks like they're grouping in the mid lane. Even though I still don't think that's the strategy that Second Chance wants to use. No. Sending the Jax bot or just around to a flank.
Looks like he's just gonna head bot lane and shove that out, try to relieve some pressure.
1-3-1.
Falling back to the 1-3-1 to try to make something happen while they still have this Baron buff. Don't let it sit there and go to waste.
Absolutely. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Jax tower dive. He shouldn't be too scared of
Does he have a locket?
Oh, he sure does.
Why does he have a locket? Did he forget which item gives the banner minion?
He wanted some more MR against this Kennen.
Yeah, but there's like MR items.
QSS is really early and doesn't really...
What is
Also
happening?
stuns a little early.
What is happening? Flash, Kennen! Flash! No flash.
He didn't have flash up.
Well, as per
Riot, he did.
as per Riot, he has free flashes.
He has as many flashes as he needs. Meanwhile,
Galio.
Second Chance just taking down towers in every lane right now.
Oh.
Galio goes down for the one in the top lane, but
They still have their inhib up for now. For Khan's
Jax
being
is
pretty
rotating
ballsy, though.
over. Looks like they called him back down to the tower down there. He's gonna pick that up. Dodges
They're
the
being very
Q.
greedy. I don't think they're able to get that inhib at all. Don't pull the Jax back to your team. Horrible idea.
Jax and the Warwick, the two targets you don't want in your team.
Yeah, that's one of those where you just kind of float them up in the air instead of back to your team. Andy AoE's trying to put the damage down and save the inhib. Inhib is just went down. Andy AoE's going for the Jax.
Evil Envy
Xerath-
takes down the Braum.
Oh, gotta get lucky. Takes out Rakan.
Damage about to come through.
Oh, no! Oh my God, the outplay! Flash over the Q. Is this the end?
I don't think there was actually a Q in the air, but the thought was definitely there to juke any future Qs.
Yeah. Oh, the Flash Xerath Q.
We will chalk it up as an
no.
outplay because that was next level thinking.
Oh no.
This could be
Oh,
the
no.
end. This is the end for the Bronze Border Patrol's control over this hill.
Wow.
Second Chance decided they don't need a second chance to put an end to their reign.
Absolutely.
Fantastic game all around.
Oh boy. Yeah, that went from a free win to getting absolutely outplayed to just taking that game back over.
Just
Looking
looking
back.
at the damage here again.
Yeah.
Ezreal
Still a-
leading the charts with 38,000 damage.
Yeah. Still a crazy amount of damage coming out by the Ezreal, but just not enough to
Just doesn't have the split damage to be able to carry a team fight.
Yeah. But good games all around. Hopefully we can see Second Chance come back to defend the hill
In the following week.
in whatever week King of the Hill comes back to. But make sure you guys stay tuned for all of our LCUS content and the amazing games this weekend for week 4 of the LCUS, with key games between White Wolf Gaming and Option 12 battling for first place, Triple Strike and Northern Storm battling for second, third, and fourth place, depending on where they all finish. And of course, the bottom two teams, More Cowbell and Take the Lantern, who are battling for fourth place and the possible playoff spot that could come from Triple Strike losing 2-0, 0-2, excuse me.
2 weeks
yeah.
left and every team can still make playoffs.
Every team.
That first matchup of the day is really going to be real interesting. Two teams both very convincingly dominating their games so far. Currently tied at 7 points each. It's going to be a real interesting game to watch.
Yeah, stay tuned for our analysis of that matchup tomorrow in our Let's Talk About the League podcast. Well,
Thanks for
wrapping it up.
watching. and have a wonderful night.